Hello everyone. So in my today's video I will be talking about fascia. So myself Sneha Bhatia, MPT in Orthopedics and Sports Rehabilitation, in charge principal athlete Srimati S. G. Patel Institute of Physiotherapy. So before I start with my video, I would like to request my audience to please subscribe to my channel, because according to YouTube analytics 69% of my audience have yet not subscribed to my channel. So please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the next video. So fascia is the complex network of connective tissues located under the skin. It wraps around every nerve, bone and muscles in the body, and all the structures of the body are surrounded, protected and supported by fascia. So as they have described, fascia is the covering which is covering every nerve, bone, muscle and all the structures of the body. So fascia is forming a layer around the bones, the muscles and all the tissues that are inside the body. So this is the picture showing the fascia. So we have muscles in our body. So surrounding the muscle fibers there is a thin layer of fascia, and then we also have blood vessels. So this is the cross section. This figure is showing cross section of the muscle. So muscle fibers are embedded in the layer of fascia. So this is again the picture showing the fascia. So you can see white lines over here. So the pink lines, the pink are the muscle fibers, and the white thin transparent type of fibers which you can see in this image, this white transparent sheet thread like structure is the fascia. So this is another picture showing how the fascia looks like in our body. So the red color arrow is showing the fascia. Okay, so whether it is human being or animals, all the animals and the human beings are having muscles inside their body, and all the muscles are surrounded by fascia. So there is another picture on the right hand side of this slide. So you can see a white color fiber like structure, okay, a transparent structure, thread like structure, that is the fascia. So fascia is considered as all collagenous soft connective tissue. So fascia is a type of connective tissue only. This connective tissues consist of cells embedded in an extracellular matrix, which is also known as ECM, and ECM in turn consists of fibers and ground substance. So fascia is the newly discovered organ, because nowadays, as we all know, there are so many things and so much research is going on for the fascia, and it is proven that some kind of musculoskeletal disorders, sometimes of back pain, neck pain, and there are so many other kind of pain which a body may experience if there is tightness in the fascia, or if there is some kind of dysfunction or subabnormality in the fascia. So there is a lot of research recently going on about the function and the structure of the fascia. So fascia is the newly discovered organ, because till now the fascia was the area which was not researched more, but nowadays everybody is focusing on that, and if we do fascial release, then it is seen, and research has also proven, and clinically also it is seen that if we treat the fascia, then many kind of pains and many kind of pathologies may disappear just by mobilizing the fascia or releasing the fascia. That is why the fascia is called as a newly discovered organ, which is of more importance. So this is the picture showing the structure of the fascia. So here we can see extracellular matrix. So we have the blood vessel, that is the ground substance, protein fibers. Protein fibers, we can have elastic fibers, collagen fibers and reticular fibers. And we also have resident cells. So we have mesenchymal cell, macrophage, adipocyte and fibroblast. So this is the structure of the fascia. So there are different types of fascia. One is the superficial fascia. So superficial fascia is formed of interwoven collagen fibers, loosely packed and mixed with abundant elastic fibers. Functionally, it may play a role in the integrity of the skin and support for subcutaneous structures, that are the veins, ensuring their patency. So basically superficial fascia is covering the veins, and it is a form of collagen fibers only, which is loosely packed and mixed with abundant elastic fibers. So superficial fascia, as we have all learned in our anatomy class, that when there are different layers of the skin, and superficial fascia is also one of the layer of the skin. Second one is the deep fascia. So deep fascia is the fibrous membrane forming an intricate network, envelopes and separates muscles, forms sheath for nerves and vessels, strengthens the ligaments around the joints, and binds all structures together into a firm compact mass. So that is the deep fascia. So first superiorly we will have the superficial fascia, and deep to that we will have the deep fascia. Next is the intermuscular fascia. So it is also known as the subarterial fascia, dividing the muscle groups into septa or walls, enclosing the specific muscles and nerves. Next is the visceral fascia, also known as the subserous fascia, suspends the organs within their cavities and wraps them in layer of connective tissue membranes. Next is the superficial front line. So here, because we have fascia which is covering almost all part of the body, so there are some lines, okay, so these lines are called as facial lines. So these lines are given names. So there is something called as superficial front line. So this superficial front line of the fascia runs from the top of the toes up the front of the leg and up the torso to the top of the sternum, and passes along the side of the neck to the back of the skull. And the primary function of this superficial front line is to maintain the posture. So please remember, the superficial front line of the fascia goes from the toes up to the leg to the torso, top of the sternum, and passes along the side of the neck until the back of the skull. Next is there is superficial back line. So this superficial back line runs from the underside of the foot up the back of the leg to the sacrum, and up the back to the skull, and over the skull to the forehead. And the primary function of this superficial back line is to maintain the erect posture. So please remember, this superficial back line runs from the underside of the foot up the back of the leg to the sacrum and the back of the skull, and over the skull to the forehead. Next is there is lateral lines. So both the two sides lateral lines are present. So lateral lines runs from the underside of the foot up the side of the leg and trunk, under the shoulder complex to the side of the neck and skull. So please remember, from the foot it is going up to the side of the leg and side of the trunk, under the shoulder complex to the side of the neck and skull. And the primary function of this lateral line is to maintain the stability during lateral and rotational movement, and it also supports the other line. So please remember, the main function, the primary function of the lateral line is to maintain the stability during lateral and rotational movement. Next is a spiral line. So it runs from the side of the skull across the neck to the opposite shoulder and ribs, and back across the belly to the front of the hip, the outside of the knee, the inside of the ankle, and the under the arch of the foot, and back of the leg, and back to the skull. The primary function of the spiral line is to create and control the rotation through the body. So please remember, the spiral line from where to where it runs from the side of the skull across the neck to the opposite shoulder and the ribs, and back across the belly to the front of the hip, and the outside of the knee, and the inside of the ankle, and the under the arch of the foot, and back of the leg, and back to the skull. Next is there is functional line. So again, functional line, it is present on two sides. So the functional lines extend the arm lines across the surface of the trunk to the lateral pelvis and leg, or up from the leg and pelvis across the rib cage to the opposite shoulder and arm. One of those lines run in front of the body, another in the back. Therefore the right and the left line forming an X across the torso. The lines are called the functional lines because they are rarely employed in modulating posture, but when it comes to athletic movement as drivers of the spinal line. So here we can see again how the functional line is running. So it is going from the surface of the trunk to the lateral pelvis and leg, up from the leg and pelvis across the rib cage to the opposite side of the shoulder and the arm. On the front, one of those lines run in front of the body, another in the back, and therefore the right and the left lines are forming the X across the torso. Next is the arm line. So we have, it is present on the four sides. The arm lines connect seamlessly into the other main lines. Their functionality could be summarized as bringing things towards us, pushing things away. So deep front line is there, superficial front line is there, deep back arm line is there, and superficial back arm line is there. So total there are 4 lines: deep front arm line, superficial front arm line, deep back arm line, and superficial back arm line. So deep front line, it is a core line that begins deep on the sole of the foot and runs up the inside of the leg to the front of the hip joint and across the pelvis to the front of the spine and on up through the thoracic cavity to the jaw and the bottom of the skull. So that is how the deep front lines runs. So this is the picture showing different types of myofascial lines. So in the first picture we can see the superficial lines. On the second pictures we can see the functional lines, and on the bottom pictures we can see the lateral line, we can see, and next to that we can see the spiral lines. Okay, so there are different types of facial lines in the body. So when there is some kind of dysfunction or some mobility is impaired and mobility is not proper, there is some kind of musculoskeletal pain. So if there is any pathology in the fascia, or there is any tightness or some kind of irregularity in the fascia, then also it can lead to musculoskeletal problems. And the research has proven that if we mobilize the fascia or we give facial release to the patient, then immediately the pain will subside and patient will be completely symptom free, and a lot of musculoskeletal problems can be treated, and some types of visceral problems also can be treated by just mobilizing the fascia. So current research is ongoing on fascia. So you all should know what is the fascia, what are the lines, and if there is some kind of musculoskeletal disorder or there is some other dysfunction, then by releasing the fascia how to treat the patient, that also should be known by all physiotherapists. So thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed watching this video, then please subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon to get notified for the next video, and share this channel with your friends. Thank you.